1914, the dawn of a new era. A great nation is born. But the history of Nigeria will be incomplete without the story of the Nigeria Police Force. From humble beginnings as a consular guard in 1861, through decades of transformation, the police remain the symbol of law and order in our society. But as colonial governance came to an end in 1960, it was time to hand over the baton of leadership to the indigenous citizens. Today, we commemorate the second anniversary in office of the 16th Indigenous Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Dahiru Abubakar. Born in 1960, the year Nigeria witnessed historical change in its emancipation from British rule. That same year, an agent of change was born. We examine the impact of this dynamic officer and policing expert in the fight against crime and criminality. His mission to strengthen internal security and help restore the Nigeria Police Force to its pride of place in the society.
Crime Fighters.
For the Inspector General on assumption of office, the immediate challenge was galvanizing the workforce of the police for the task ahead, in view of the fact that many in the police had lost confidence in the system and morale was low. MD Abubakar believes in the truism that says change is a constant phenomenon, especially in today's society. Through his dynamic and proactive style of leadership, that salient obstacle of low morale of personnel was removed. The IGP embarked on nationwide tours of commands, addressing officers and men, and in the subsequent months, through his management approach, steered the police force in a newer direction, pulling it away from its archaic systems to a modern people-oriented force that embraced innovations, corporate policing, and strategy policing. A proactive approach to policing that focuses on the prevention of crime rather than reacting after the commission of crime was the archetype of MD Abubakar's administration. With this model of policing, intelligence becomes a principal tool of police operations. A policing model that demands cooperation between the police and the citizens.
For intelligence-led policing virtues to be well rooted in internal security management, there is a need for a well-trained, equipped, and professionally competent intelligence unit and confidence cooperation of other security agencies. It took the vision of one man, MD Abubakar. He is the first IG that had thought it wise that there has to be a separate training institution for intelligence officers in the country, where they will have to be trained, not the general training that we usually have now. And we went ahead to set up a school in Enugu. And when we set up that school in February and it was opened, within February and as I speak, we have been able to train 955 intelligence officers.
No doubt this strategy is yielding positive results, a fact demonstrated in the reduction of bomb attacks and other violent crimes across the country. One of the significant steps of his administration in the fight against crime and criminality across the country was to commence a thorough, consistent crime trend analysis based on crime incidents data received from state police commands across the country. The report is thoroughly analyzed and used as a guide in tackling specific crime trends around the country. Thereafter, the police management provides adequate and necessary logistics to each command to boost their capacity in tackling the crime specific and more endemic in their jurisdiction. To actualize its mission of creating intelligence-led police force, the erstwhile intelligence unit was excised from the Force Criminal Investigation Department and upgraded to an autonomous section known as the Force Intelligence Bureau, FIB. The Bureau remains a catalyst in internal security management through its operations, training programs, and innovative projects in community sensitization and intelligence gathering. Great efforts have been made to enhance the operational efficiency of the force through continual training of personnel and acquisition of critical operational logistics. Indeed, his leadership approach, personal charisma, and detribalized disposition added to assuage various assistance from federal and state governments as well as the private sector. His administration has acquired over 2,000 patrol vehicles, 13 brand new helicopters, armored personnel carriers APC, and other operational logistics to aid crime fighting in the country. The NPF has not been left out in the race to adopt and deploy the numerous modern information communications technology in policing and strengthening security. A new directorate was created by the administration of IGP MD Abubakar called the G Department. The objective is to leverage on ICT in its efforts at combating crime. And this is best exemplified by the audio-visual communication systems at the force headquarters itself, which allows the IGP to personally, visually communicate with commands across the Federation, directly monitor and supervise their activities, and even interrogate suspects anywhere in the country, directly from his office. The first step towards easing the constant aggravation between members of the public and the police was the removal of roadblocks. While many feared that this would lead to a spike in robbery incidents, the reverse has been the case. The roadblocks were, however, replaced with increased visibility policing and motorized patrols. Much has been accomplished in other areas as well, particularly in resuscitating the moribund police hospitals in all police formations across the country, retrieving the police pension back to the police after the monumental fraud by the pension fund managers, the establishment of police mortgage bank, and as well as reconnecting the police with the community it serves. Much progress has been made in the area of personal welfare, including promotions, payment of pensions, and mortgage facilities. In 2 years, a total of 75,000 personnel have been promoted.
Because we believe that education is a key factor for our officers and men, due to constant transfer from one state to the other, we went ahead to reorganize and reform the education department of the Nigeria Police. Within the last 1 year, we have been able to build 17 secondary schools, and at the same time, we have built 12 primary schools for the officers and men to be able to use it under this period. We have built a regional peace center in Abuja, where officers and men of the Nigeria Police and other police forces in Africa will come to be trained. The center has 240 conference rooms, 160 beds, air conditioning, and for the first time in the history of the police, we have been able to put in place a visual range for people, a visual range for officers to come and practice and become professionals in their skill of shooting, so that when they go out to discharge their responsibility, they should be able to get it right. We have been able to ensure that insurance become a factor in what we do. Our officers and men are insured because of the challenging job they do every day. All the times we send officers to come to Abuja to take money for their families or lost family, or somebody who under a very challenging situation lost his life trying to provide safety and security for Nigeria. We have decentralized that every member of the Nigeria Police can be paid in each state where he served without coming to Abuja. He will take his check in any of the banks in the state where he served, instead of him to come to Abuja to wait to take check for his own family. At the same time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a management, we approached Mr. President for the Nigeria Police to have its own pension board, and Mr. President has given us approval for the Nigeria Police to administer and operate its own pension board for officers and men of the Nigeria Police. At the same time, when we came on board, we realized the Nigeria Police do not have any mortgage bank that will assist our officers and men and their wives and their family to be able to live a living that is worthy. So we went ahead to set up a mortgage bank for the Nigeria Police. We have already paid 5 billion to Central Bank, and we have been licensed to operate that bank for officers and men of the Nigeria Police. You have seen our performance in terms of our constitutional responsibility of providing safety and security, not only for election, for electoral materials, for movement of electoral materials, for equally providing safety and security for the people to come out and discharge their constitutional responsibility. We have done it in Edo successfully. We have done it in Ekiti successfully. We have not done it in Anambra State successfully, because our responsibility is to provide safety and security for them to discharge their responsibility. Every other thing has nothing to do with the police or any other security agencies.
The impact of any institution or administration is best assessed by the people it seeks to serve. How does the public rate the performance of IGP MD Abubakar 2 years down the line?
The Inspector General of Police, 2 years in office, I think he deserves our congratulations, because it is a delicate office, a sensitive office, and he has occupied it very well, in my view. We have felt his presence. He has made the effort to improve the force. But my message is that he needs to do more. It's not because he's not doing enough, it's because there's a whole lot to do and he has a golden opportunity. Anybody in that kind of situation now has his big opportunity, because when there's a lot that you can do and you grab the position to be able to do it, I think doing it to the glory of God is a must. So I wish him Godspeed. I wish him more successes in his office.
I'll say in 2 years, so far so good. IGP Mohammed Abubakar has done quite well. There are some lapses, some question marks that we have. But by and large, in terms of policing the country, he has done very well. See, when he came and he removed checkpoints, we all had fears. But today, most of those fears are unfounded. We still are able to travel on the roads without being ambushed and waylaid. There are some pockets of issues like that, but you find that most times the police also respond very quickly. So I think the IGP has done quite well. Our cities are fairly safer. Our roads are fairly safer. The IGP has done very well. I give him kudos. And I'm not surprised. You know, he was CP in Lagos at the time, and we know what he did in Lagos. So he has just replicated that on a larger scale.
So far, so good. He has done quite well. The appeal will be that he should just keep up the good work, not to rest on his horse, and improve further on what he has been able to achieve so far, so that at the end of his term, whenever that may be, then he can leave a good legacy for the Nigeria Police Force, and people can remember him for the good that he did during his tenure.
We want to congratulate him and also to tell him that laborious task still lies ahead. So in terms of handling peaceful protests, in terms of managing human beings, he has to do a lot more with the rank and file. We have seen, some of the follow-up that the IG has done. For instance, it gladdens my mind, what has been done as far as the Ijibu thing. The IG showing his weight and saying that these people must be brought to book. And I know that he's a fighter. He was a commissioner of police in Lagos, and we knew during his tenure how crime was fought. So we just want to congratulate him and tell him that there's more work for him to do.
That's under the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Dikko Abubakar. I heartily congratulate you on the second anniversary. You came into the saddle of leadership of Nigerian Police Force. May God continue to strengthen you and bless you abundantly.
He made a reform in police, and the area that most of the policemen are looking neat because of the new uniform.
Since he took over the mantle of leadership as the Inspector General of Police, Nigerians can really sleep somehow with their two eyes closed. Nigerians have seen that the police officers themselves can be disciplined, unlike before.
So I congratulate you, 2 years in office, and I wish you the best.
IG Abubakar, congratulations, and I wish you more promotion, everything added to you, and God will bless you. I want the police to put more effort on their work, to put more effort and also help us as the citizen of Nigeria. They should help us anytime that we call them, that they should respond to us.
The achievements of IGP MD Abubakar is truly the success of the officers and men of the NPF, particularly the inspectorate and other ranks, the foot soldiers of the force, men and women who toil in the sun and in the rain and sometimes lose their lives in the service of the nation. It is indeed their victory. Society is never static. It is constantly changing and evolving, but so also is crime and criminality. the NPF must continually rise to this challenge and better still be a step ahead of the criminal element.
Crime Fighters.
At Crime Fighters, we applaud the Inspector General of Police, MD Abubakar, for a job well done and wish him greater successes in the days ahead. Congratulations, Mr. IGP, sir.
Crime Fighter. The searchlight on crime and criminality.
I want to use the opportunity to thank all Nigerians for their support, for their cooperation, for their partnership with the police throughout 2013, and I do hope that 2014 will be a better year in terms of crime and criminality and peace and stability of this country. With your cooperation, we can make it better.
Crime Fighters. Promoting security consciousness.